So we'll be sending out the survey later today and ask that all employees fill it out by end of week. And to be clear, all responses will be kept anonymous.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, employee number 7, did you have something to say? You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just wondering how you're able to make sure that the survey responses stay anonymous.
Well, as you all know, our company takes privacy very seriously, which is why we hired a survey vendor that uses a process called differential privacy.
Okay, and what's that?
Well, it gets very technical, but the gist is that the results are aggregated by the vendor, so we don't receive the individual responses, and then the vendor adds random noise to the results so that it'd be almost impossible for us to know if the results are accurate enough to trace back to individual employees.
How does that work? I thought someone might ask about this.
So I had the same question when the survey vendor approached us about this. Let me share my screen.
So after you fill out the survey, your responses get sent directly to the survey vendor. The vendor is the one that does all the differential privacy work to add noise and protect everyone's privacy. If we want to access the results, we send queries to the survey vendor, and the vendor sends us aggregated answers with the noise applied. For example, our query might be, how many employees answered yes to the question asking if an employee is willing to return to the office 5 days a week? The vendor will send back a number. That number won't be exact, but it will give us a sense of whether a majority or minority of you want to remain fully remote. How much noise is applied though? Like, how do you know that the numbers you get back are even accurate enough to be reliable?
I wish I could say because math, but I know that answer won't suffice with you lot. That said, I'm no math whiz, so I won't get too into the details.
In essence, there are 2 main values that set the noise amount. The first is the privacy budget, which is also called epsilon, and which defines how private we want the data to be versus how accurate. Think of this as a number between 0 and, well, infinity, with 0 being completely anonymous but not totally accurate, and the higher the number gets, the results get less anonymous but more accurate. The second is the sensitivity, which is how much the aggregated results would be affected if any single data point were altered or eliminated. The higher the sensitivity threshold, the higher the noise amount that can be added. The privacy budget and sensitivity values are then plugged into a math equation that calculates how much noise to apply. So we have to trust that the set privacy budget errs on the side of privacy more than accuracy?
Yes, but it's worth mentioning that the more data being processed, the less effect the noise has on the accuracy.
The survey vendor said to think of it like a scatter plot and a trend line. The fewer points being plotted, the less accurate the trend line. The more points that are plotted, the more accurate the trend line.
So let that be an incentive. The more of you who complete the survey, the more accurate and anonymous the results.
What the f***?